Hello, and welcome back to Of the People. I am Robert Chernin with
Ericka
my lovely
Redic.
co-host, Ericka Redic. Say hello again, Ericka.
Hello again, Ericka.
I'm still blown away. That was a great
Wow.
segment with Dr. Abramson, or Bruce, as we're allowed to call him.
Yes.
I mean, and you know what, the thing that doesn't upset me, but I wanted so much to get to, because the other concept in his book was that America still exists, but the republic, the constitutional republic of America, ceased to exist in March of 2020. So we need to have him back on.
All right.
I'm
for that.
Yeah,
I'm
great.
for having him back. Man, Robert, that is, that was one of the most fascinating, fun conversations I've had in a long, long time. I can't wait to have Bruce back on to talk about literally anything else.
Wait a minute. You don't have fun talking to me?
I mean, I do have
Should
fun
I feel
talking
should
to
I
you.
feel offended? You know how delicate my
Definitely
ego
not.
is.
No, you should not feel offended because you know I love you differently, Robert. Okay, it's your
Thank you.
irreverence.
Okay,
that I
fair
love
enough.
so
I feel assuaged. Thank you. So serious note though, I want to talk about one aspect about what Bruce was talking about. So he talked about racism, and it occurs to me that, when I grew up, there was segregation, right? Blacks to the back of the bus, all that stuff in the deep South, and blacks can't drink from this water fountain. Even the sports figures, whether it was Willie Mays or Hank Aaron, and I'm a baseball guy, right? Used to have to stay at different hotels, So that was segregation, right?
Yeah.
And it occurs to me, I was reading about President Biden was at Howard University, and we're going into systemic racism, right? Was at Howard University and said the greatest threat to America is not Islamic terrorism, is not anything that you would think was the greatest threat. By the way, he didn't even say climate change, which surprised me. But the greatest threat to America, according to our president, my president, is white supremacy.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I want to add one other thing, and then I want your thoughts on this. There is also a play, I forget the name of it, it happened to be in London, that is a black production, black-only audience, and it says whites are encouraged not to attend because we want black viewers only so that the people can immerse themselves in the experience and don't have to put up with, I think he called it the white gaze, right? So have we now gotten, we've gone from segregation where it was segregations against black people, and now it's segregation against white people because white supremacists are the greatest threat to this country. What do you think about that?
I'm sorry. Does it actually? I can't even. Does it actually say white gaze?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So it replaced the male gaze is a problem for women. Now there's the white gaze.
Well, I have toxic masculinity anyway, so that's okay.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It is just so disgusting to me that anyone in leadership in America, especially a guy who literally gave the eulogy at a KKK Grand Masters rally, can sit up at a black university and tell them that their thing that they need to fear the most is freaking white people.
Right.
Oh my God.
Remember, look, the thing that I object to in all of this is, can we get away from race? Look, I agree. We're all racist now, but it's like that article we talked about the other day where it says black man shoots white guy. I don't really give a damn about the color of his skin.
No.
I care about whether he's a jerk or not. I care about whether he's a crime or not. There are black people that are jerks, white people, brown people, red people. Pick a color. I don't really give a damn.
Yeah.
Can we get away from the prism of race? Because that's part of that wokeism is religion thing.
Yeah.
That's part of the proselytizing that they're shoving down our throats. By the way, so here's the deal on this play. So it says white people told they are not welcome at the performance of a BLM-inspired play. It is a blackout performance called Tambo and Bones at the Theatre Royal Stratford East. And they said, a blackout night is a purposeful creation of an environment in which an all-black identifying audience can experience and discuss an event in the performing arts, film, and cultural space, quote, free from the white gaze. Whites need not apply. Don't buy a ticket if you're, I mean, wokeism is religion. This is one aspect of it. Have we not now, are we not now in a segregated era again, albeit a little different than it was in the 60s?
That's the question, Robert. And also, what defines black? Who defines black? What does blackness mean?
Well, wait a minute.
I mean,
I told
Joe
you, I
Biden
define
said,
myself as a black lesbian.
I know. Well, and that's what even Joe Biden says. If you vote for Trump, then you ain't black. So who's the arbiter of what blackness even is nowadays?
Right.
If the color of your skin,
right,
isn't what identifies you as black, but now it's whether your level of education, how you talk, what music you listen to. I mean, this is just it is disgusting, Robert. It is absolutely.
It's a good word.
Now, I mean, look, I'm not going to deny that there is a time and place for opportunities for groups of people to get together with each other to have some time. Okay. I have advocated for women's only spaces. I think that there should be, men's only clubs where,
we got rid of those. They're racist too. Men cannot have a men only club.
I think that there is a place where some of those things make sense. Okay. But when we start to then say, you're not welcome, you don't belong here, we need to evade the white gaze. Okay. Now we're going into demonization territory. I don't have a problem with guys wanting to have, their man cave or their bro place where they go hang out, because men and women value different things. We want different things. Sometimes it is nice to just be around your girlfriends and say whatever you want to say and not worry about what the men folk think.
You're right. I love being around my girlfriends, plural. Exactly. Wait a minute. Let me interrupt and say a couple of things because you've covered a lot of points here.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So number one, as far as clubs are concerned, I think we've inverted it. So this is for men or women as a gender to get together because they choose to is one thing, but to say that so and so is not allowed is another thing. It's a wholly different thing. I mean, I grew up in an era where there were certain golf courses that basically had signs that say no Jews allowed, right? So
correct.
I certainly understand that that kind of a thing. The other thing, however, in all of this, right, is the exclusion of let me go back. It's really about the whole concept of safe spaces is there are no safe spaces, right? Started on campus. Life is not a safe space. There is no safe space in life. And by the way, if you're living in any of the urban, centers or cities that are run by Democrats, it's really not a safe space these days. Thank you, Mayor Adams. Of course, I'll go to the kiosk and apply for help. Social service, please. But the whole concept of a safe space, an exclusionary space where you can't say anything to me, you can't do anything to me. I need my safe space. Look, I'm respectful of veterans, PTSD, people who need sort of, what are they, not guide dogs, whatever they call them, support
Service
animals.
Dogs.
I get that part of it. I mean, life is traumatic enough, but we're again, it partakes of wokeism as a religion.
Yeah.
In terms of, white this, black that. I mean, it even to me, they've now discovered that the Biden administration a year ago had a memo and a plan in place to, at the end of Title 42, which was that whole thing during the Trump presidency, to let people now into the country once it expires. And again, maybe it's racism again, right? Because who's coming into the country? Blacks, Hispanics, right? Everybody who's not white. So right now there's a war on religion. wokeism is really a new religion, and I guess you and I have white gaze. And
here's the deal. Unfortunately, we never get to have the conversations about areas that actually need improvement, where we can actually get together and fight against these divisive and gross ideologies together, if people are insistent on continuing to use language and speak about each other as if we need to be segregated. We are Americans. We are on the same team.
At least we're supposed to be.
At least we're supposed to be. And so I just, enough is enough of this divisive insistence on segregation.
Well, racism partakes of what I call the 3 Ds: demagogue, demonize, and divide. I'm going to leave it at that because we're getting the high sign here from Lord Benjamin, our producer, who again has done a great job. Thank you, Ben Redic.
Thank you, Benjamin,
for the great job that you do. Folks, you've been listening to Of the People. I am Robert Chernin, and
I'm Ericka Redic.
Thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next week.
Hey everybody, Ericka Redic, also known as Generally Irritable. Special shout out and thanks to our Of the People radio and podcast listeners, and to our Rumble viewers. We've sort of had to give up on YouTube a little bit because they don't like the things that we say. So you guys make sure you go check us out on Rumble. And also, while you're there, go ahead, click subscribe, follow Generally Irritable. You hear Robert and I talk about it a lot, and you might ask yourself, what's the difference? Well, at Generally Irritable, we're not just covering news and politics, but we're talking about how news and politics intersects with culture. We get to go to live events like the How Many More rally at the Austin Capitol, America Fest hosted by Turning Point USA, talk to and interview some of your favorite pundits, politicians, and podcasters to see what they think about where we are at in the American experiment today. Why do we do it? Because we believe that an engaged and informed electorate is the best way to save the American Republic. You'll even find cameos from our producer, Lord Benjamin, aka Lord Violence, aka A Darker Perspective. That's where you can find him on Twitter. You can find me on all of the socials under Generally Irritable, literally all of them. Twitter, you're going to find me as Ericka Redic, ERICKAREDIC. And most importantly, engage, because we need you to overcome the evil big tech overlords. You got to share, you got to comment, you got to like, you got to hit that Rumble button.